Hi guys, my name's Adelaide and welcome to Adelaide Colours. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about colouring. Today I am here for my very first Whips and Completed Pages video. Now this is for March. It is actually the evening, so it's just after 6 of the 31st of March here today. I'm in Australia, so might be a bit earlier than yours, but I am excited. Now we are going to be talking about few different colouring book illustrators, and I have arranged them alphabetically just because I felt like it. So we're going to start with Johanna Basford, Rita Berman, go to Joseph Caddenborough, Hanna Karlzon, and then Maria Trolle. So let's get to it and talk about colouring. See you soon. Hello again. So it's quite funny. The Johanna Basford book that I have coloured an awful lot in this month has been Small Victories. And that all started because my kind husband went to Big W, which is like a, I guess a big box store we have here, and saw this book, Johanna Basford, Inklings. And he was so kind and he bought it for me because he didn't know that I had it. And it is a beautiful book. I'm quite excited, really, to colour it. But it did make me think, well, what about Small Victories? So I had got Small Victories when it came out, and I pulled it out, and I had done a title page. So that's what it looked like. And you know what? It's okay. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. You know, it's one of those happy mediums. It looks like I used some Distress ink, and then I went in with Chroma Flow, and I also used a bit of Tombow, looking at that bright pink, and some white gel pen. So, you know, it's okay. So I had done that, and I think I'd done maybe one other page in the book. This one, the bugs, and I did them with polychromos and then put some gold pen on. So, you know, I'd done a little bit of simple colouring in it, but nothing really. So all because I got Inklings, I guess I had this surge of guilt. I don't know if you ever get that. And I'm like, I can't colour in that until I've done at least 5 pages in Small Victories. So let's see how I went. The first one I have in the book to show you is this, I guess it's a double page spread. Now, I used Inktense for this, Inktense pencils, and I actually completed it just after I'd done my video on how to do Inktense backgrounds. So I will link that below if you're interested in having a look at how I do it. And isn't it pretty? I love it. I mean, in a way, it's such a shame. It's got the publishing information there, but that's okay. I really enjoyed doing it and loved the outside. So I used Inktense pencils first for the background, and then I went in and basted all the leaves and the flowers with Inktense pencil. Then after that, I actually got out my Derwent Colour Soft. Now that's quite unusual for me. Usually I get out my Derwent Chroma Flow, but I'd used Chroma Flow quite a bit and I wanted to change. So I did my Colour Soft, and although they don't have that many shades of greens, I really did enjoy using them on the Inktense, and I think it came out lovely and vibrant. I really like it. Then I went in with my white gel pen. Now I always, pretty much exclusively, use the Sakura Jelly Roll set. They come in the 3s and I just love them. They're one of the few Jelly Roll pens that I can use and they don't stop working on me. So that's definitely worth a go if you haven't tried them. And I did the flowers in them, and I think they're just so pretty and they really added to it. I also went round all the tiny flowers and the outside of these little ones here. I'm not sure what they're called, but very pretty. Really enjoyed it. Lots of fun, that page. And then this little matching illustration was here. So I actually brought over the same colours. And isn't it interesting? The colours that looked so wonderful and vibrant with the dark background, I didn't feel really worked on the light background, but it matched. It was only a little illustration, so I am really happy to leave that the way it is. So that was one bit of colouring I did in Small Victories. Does it count as 1 page or 2? I'm not quite sure. And then from there, so these are my holiday pages. I was lucky enough to go on holiday, and I kind of thought, well, what should I take? Do you know the kind of eternal question? How many art supplies should I take with me? And then I had kind of a bit of a brainwave, but I was also inspired by my kids. Now, I am lucky enough to have the Renae color cubes. I have the original ones, but I'm really happy with that, and I am not looking to upgrade anytime soon. And one of the wonderful things about the color cubes is not just I get enjoyment from looking through and flicking through them, but my kids do too. They absolutely adore them. In fact, you know, especially if it's a weekend afternoon, and you're looking for something tactile for them to do, looking through the color cube and getting an idea of all the colors and picking out their favorites, they love doing that to bits. I asked them all when they were looking through it if they could pick out their 2 favorites, and these are my daughters. So she picked this one first, the pinks, which I never normally would do a pink palette, and that was a really nice challenge. And then she picked this one for this page. So when I got the color cubes, it was a lovely Christmas present from my parents. They were very kind, and they also got me the online companion, which had the pencils and what colors you should use for each card. So I went to the Polychromos one because these actually exclusively are done in Polychromos, Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils, which is really unusual for me because I usually water base them, but I guess to go back to the beginning, I was going on holiday and I didn't want to take that much with me. So I went and printed out each relevant, I guess, card swatch, and I only have a black and white printer, sorry, so that's why it looks like that. But you know what, if I hold the card next to it, it still allows me to kind of see if that would work. And what I found is the dark color wasn't dark enough, so I actually substituted it with the Polychromo 263, and then the light color I felt wasn't light enough, and there wasn't anything that light in Polychromo, so I went top my Holbein pastel set, and there were 2 contenders. In the end, I chose Holbein 120. So that was really good. I picked out 5 pencils to take with me on holiday for that picture, and look at this. Out of that, I got this page, which isn't my normal color palette, but I love it. I just think it looks so good, and I have to say I really enjoyed coloring it. So that was just those 5 pencils, so I guess 4 Polychromos and a Holbein pastel, and the Sakura white gel pen again. And yeah, lots and lots of fun. It's kind of nice doing a limited palette, especially when you're on holidays with my family and I'm still, you know, talking and chatting. It was really nice. My mum, my brother, my kids, we all kind of colored together. It was such fun in the evening. And yes, I'm so pleased that page was finished, and yeah, really pleased, and definitely something I'd do again. Now, I'm really glad that I had the foresight to do it more than once, because as you can see, I did get another page done as well, and this was a great page. I never usually look forward to coloring pages with multiple pictures. That's not me. I prefer like a big scene and then doing that. However, this was perfect for a holiday because I did them at different times, and in fact I think this one is the lightest because it was at the end, but I really wanted to get the page finished and didn't have much time. And with Polychromos, something you do need, I feel, is time to layer them properly. But anyway, it's staying the way it is. I'm still happy with the page and I think it looks really good. So this was this card 376, and once again I got the printout and I had a look at the colors. The first 3 were fantastic, really happy with them. I did change my pink to the 123. I felt it should be brighter. I changed the red from the dark red to a more orangey red because I felt that represented the card, so 118, and I changed the orange to a more yellow orange, 111. And I did add a light blue pencil as well, just because I felt with this palette there wasn't a clear light, like that is a light, but in the greens I felt I needed a light too, so I did add the I think it's called light turquoise. I don't think actually I wrote it down, but the lightest blue in the Polychromos, which has an aqua tone. And once again, I am just so happy with how it came out. It was such fun doing it this way, and I have to admit the first picture is very conventional for me. I mean, a pinky red mushroom, green leaves, like that's that's pretty normal. And then I went to the next mushroom and I didn't want to do it the same, so I did green mushrooms, and I've never done green mushrooms before in my life, but I love them and I will be doing green mushrooms again. It was such fun. And then I went to my butterflies and moths, and once again I actually went in with my jelly roll first for the wings and then coloured over them. And I love how delicate they look, especially compared to the body, and that is a technique I'll definitely be using again for butterflies and moths because it is just so pretty. And I know when you colour over the gel pen it doesn't cover all of it. In fact, the coloured pencils almost take off a little bit of the gel pen at times, but I feel that look adds to it. Like you can see the imprint of the wings and the patterns on them. Oh, it's just so pretty. So as you can see also, my backgrounds on my pictures are pretty similar. I really tried to keep the purple as uniform because I felt it would tie them all together, although I did try different things. That's the purple and orange, it's the purple graduating to orange. I think I went out from the start for orange pink to purple. That's got orange highlights, and then this one actually I did purple and blue, and that is that light blue color, and that's actually the one I'm least happy with. But anyway, I think they look good. I think they fit in together. I was on holiday, so I didn't have like a circle shape. I probably would have dug around for, you know, the perfect cup or a compass or something like that if I was at home to do them all the same. Obviously that couldn't happen, but you know what, they look good. They make me smile because they remind me of the fun I had colouring on my holiday, and I am just so pleased with how they looked. So if you think about it, from those 2 pages, I did them with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus the other 5, 12 pencils. 12 pencils, and had so much fun colouring. So if you do have the colour cube set and you're going away, I really would recommend doing something like that because, yeah, it's just a really, really good method I found to ensure that you don't pack too much and you do have fun. It was also good for me to see how using polychromos without having the watercolor base nearly always, and you'll see this in my other pictures, I use Alberturas underneath my polychromos just to give them more punch, and so I don't have to do so many layers. But this is just polychromos, and I felt like it really improved my colouring. So that's that page, or those 2 pages. So I'm doing well. I think I've already covered 4 pages in it. And then, I have this one. So this one I didn't do on holiday, I did at home. And I started experimenting with my soft pastels. Now I have the 24 Faber-Castell. It's just the student set, and they're very small, but they have beautiful colors and I really enjoyed using them. And this was very simple. I just got them, I'd scribble a bit on the page of each color around, and then I literally got paper towel, and for each color, like one bit of the paper towel I'd do green and rub in the green, and the next bit, you know, yellow, so the colors didn't get dirtied. And yeah, it gave this background, and I just thought it was fun. I mean, no, it's not perfect. I think, as you can see, like in there's a little bit of scribbling from the original pastel. Maybe you can see it there better with that green, but it was really fun and I enjoyed it. And actually I did another pastel background in which I just put the soft pastel directly on the paper towel and then rubbed it in, and I think that gave a better finish, but I'll show you that in a Rita Berman book. It was a nice start. After I'd done the soft pastels, then I went in with my Micador workable fixative and I sprayed it, and I did it outside. It's a great fixative, that one, especially if you're putting anything over it, but it is super smelly. So I would really recommend do it outside. So once I'd done that, it had dried, and I think the next day when I came back to it, I coloured my butterfly. And this is just pencil. This is my Holbein pastel set, and once again, it was just such fun. Because this is a small book, I think I'm braver about just using pencil, and that's been really nice. I've really enjoyed it. I love pastel colours. I mean, even if you go through your existing colouring sets that you have and just pick out the pastel pencils and have a colouring session with them, I'd really recommend it. I feel like all pastel tones go together. It's a really different way to colour, and you know what, I have this finished page and I think it's really sweet. Now I did do my white highlights with my jelly roll. Again, I always, I think, put in white highlights, even on a pastel page. I feel like value contrast in colouring is really important, and it makes me happy to see that. So the punches of white even stand out from the pastel colours. So yeah, really, really happy with this page as well. So I think that's 5 pages, but actually I have another completed page and another whip. So I've done even more than that. And I am thinking, is this a book I might want to finish? I mean, it is a smaller Johanna Basford book. I have enjoyed colouring it so much. I haven't counted how many pages are in it, but you know, if I keep it up 5 a month, it would get done, wouldn't it? So that's something to think about. The next page I will look at doing this month is this one, because it kills me a little bit that these are all done. But and this one's done, but that one isn't. And I am definitely, my son has picked out, or my eldest son has picked out 2 colour cards for me to try. So I am thinking about doing the truck page with one of them and seeing how it looks, since I'm really enjoying that way of colouring. So that was that one. And then I think the next one in the book is a whip, and this is an Inktense pencil whip. Now, as I mentioned before, I did a video on how I colour Inktense backgrounds, and this is one of the examples I showed. This, I used Inktense pencils, only 4 colours, and I'll put them in the description. I know I used deep cerulean blue and mallard green, but I can't exactly remember the other 2, so I will write them down in the description if you're interested. And I did the background first and absolutely loved it. I mean, it's so vibrant. It's blues and greens. Green is my favorite color. So yeah, it just made me happy. It filled something in my soul. And then I did go in and I did an Inktense base for the fish, and I went over it with ChromaFlow pencils. So happy with how it looks. I think it's really pretty. I do have a very small amount actually, just here, and for the bubbles, some white, you guessed it, white Jelly Roll Sakura pen. And I think it came out really well. Now I need to get back to this and finish the other 2 fish, because it's just going to be such a lovely page when it's finished. And I will continue the bubbles up from both fish. So I feel at the end it will look a lot more filled in. I'm really hoping next month for my April completed pages, when I show you this one, it's no longer a whip and it is done. So that I guess is a plan. I don't like to make too many plans, but that is a plan for that. I really enjoyed using the ChromaFlows. I showed Coloursoft before, that was good. I think the ChromaFlows, they do colour slightly better. I just really wish I felt they were a better quality pencil, but they do have a lovely colour set. I only have the 72 set of ChromaFlows. I've thought about the 150, but I don't feel I need it at the moment. It has some really lovely greens, so yes, that was lots of fun. So that was another page partially completed, and then we get to another completed page, and this is probably my least favorite in the book. But once again, I was experimenting and trying things, and I feel so brave about experimenting in this book. I think because it's not one of Johanna's bigger books, I feel more serious. It's little, so I can have a go, and I can get a page finished. Well, if I have a few hours in one sitting, which is really nice too. Now, this experiment was with my Distress Oxide. So I actually have them here. I used spun sugar for the bottom. I used milled lavender for the middle, and then tumbled glass for the top. And I've used these quite a bit for mixed media, but I didn't really have much experience in using them in colouring. And what I wanted to know is, I'm a person who's not a fan of masking fluid. So I wanted to know, could I colour over it? And really the results are mixed. I will hold it up so you can have a look at those flowers. In the bottom, and yes, decide for yourself. I'd say it works okay. So what I did is I did my Distress Oxide background, and I didn't worry about the colouring. I didn't mask it. I didn't try and avoid it. I just I used these applicators. They're from my local scrapbooking shop. I'm sorry, they come in a clear plastic packet. I'm not sure what they're called. I have one for each colour, and they seem to work quite well. I go in a little circular motion with them. So I did the Distress ink background first, and then I let it dry. Once it was dry, I then went in with my Inktense pencils, and then once again my ChromaFlow. It worked okay. So I have covered it, but I do feel the blue comes in over the tips of the flowers. And I did also use some of my white gel pen, as you can see, to try and cover that. but I don't know. I don't feel my colours in this one are particularly strong, and I love strong colours, as I'm sure you can tell from my other pages. So I wouldn't say the method works that well, and I don't think I'd use it again. But you know what? It's a finished page. It's not a terrible page. I think, you know, it kind of looks quite nice, and yeah. I'm happy it's done and in the book. And I'm one of those people that if I do a really terrible page, I will literally stick the pages together so nobody ever knows. I don't know if anyone else here is like that. So I don't feel like that about this page. So at the moment it can stay, and we'll see. Maybe later on I will have an idea on how to kind of brighten it up and make it more me. But yes, I will think about that. So that is all my pages in Small Victories, quite a few, well over 5. I am thinking maybe I should finish this book. Does that mean I can't start Inklings until I do? Maybe it does. I'm thinking about that. Let me know. Do you have both? What is your strategy? Some people I've heard have already finished Small Victories, so I guess they can start Inkling straight away and have a go. My usual rule is 5 colouring pages I like to have done before I feel I can go to the next one. But yeah, I am there with Small Victories, so I'll think about that one and see. So that is my Johanna Basford colouring for the month. Okay, so I have 2 Rita Berman books to show you today. One is Mein Reis durch Europa and the other is the Seasons book. And I'm not going to try and pronounce that. I think it is available in English now. And I love this book. I think it's a compilation book, so it's the 4, she had one for each, so winter, spring, summer, autumn, and then this is the most popular pages of each put together in one book. And it's such fun. It's quite a big book. It has an awful lot of pages in it, and I really enjoy it. And I decided to do a spring page. I don't know why, because I'm in Australia and it's autumn, but maybe I've been influenced by the overseas colorists I've been watching. So this is the one I did. And I talked to you before about soft pastels and how I felt this page was an improvement. So once again, I use that Faber-Castell set of 24 soft pastels, and I had such fun. Those vibrant blues were so lovely to use. Predominantly, I did use my paper towel method, so I just scribbled them on the paper towel. It's a bit like, I don't know if you ever did this, did you do shading at school when you were meant to do colouring because it just looked flatter and neater? So I remember I used to have like this gingham cloth, and I get my coloured pencils and I'd furiously, because I really didn't have much pigment in them, but I would furiously colour on this gingham cloth and then rub it over and, you know, like shade in my trees green and then get another colour and shade in whatever else, like blue for the sky. Anyway, that's the technique I used for my soft pastels. And I use paper towel because it has those bumps in it and I find it gets the pastel on it quite well, while cloth doesn't so much. But that's just what I've found so far, and I can reuse paper towel, which is nice too for that colour. Anyway, so I was happy with the background and I did that first. And then I went in with my Albert Dürers. So Faber-Castell Albert Dürers, the water-soluble one. And I just had fun. I picked all my pretty colours and oh my gosh, I just absolutely love the clouds in the sky. But even the trees, like, isn't this just the most fun page? I really, really enjoyed it. So I based everything with that, and then I went in for my polychromos and coloured over just to give it more depth. I think it worked quite well. If I had to say something I'm not that happy with, it's the birds. I feel like they need to stand out more, and that is partially my fault. With the soft pastel, while it was quite easy to kind of like avoid a big bit like this, it was quite hard to avoid the blue getting on the birds because I hadn't masked them or anything. I really haven't had much success with masking other than it ripping my colouring pages, and it takes such a long time. I don't have that much time to colour. I just want to enjoy it when I do and like go for it, if that makes sense. So I guess this is a good test for Albert Dürer and polychromos, how they look over soft pastel. And you know what? They look okay. I mean, the birds look fine. They're fun. I tried to brighten them up with some white gel pen. Actually, you can see it all over the page, can't you? And as an end result, I'm really happy with this page, especially those clouds. They just make me smile every time I see them. So yeah, I'm going to call this one a success. It's It's a really lovely page, and the colours in it, I mean, not true to life at all, but just a lot of fun. And one thing I did do with the Albert Durers is I would get kind of like a mint green and a yellow green, and then I'd combine them for like the center bits. And I did that throughout. That's how we got that interesting orangey color and then that kind of bluey mauve. It was just a really fun way to see how the colors blended as I went. And I think tied it together too. I don't like to use too many colors in a picture. I feel like a limited palette usually gives a picture more coherence. So yeah, that one, I'm calling it done. It was an experiment with soft pastels. I think I have a way to go. I probably need to get some soft pastel tools so I can be more careful, especially about like getting in bits in there without tinting the coloring. But you know what, it's all learning and I am happy with it so far. So that was that book. And then we're going to get to the Europe book. So Mein Ries durch Europa. And this one actually is a colour along in the channel. And I went to the back of the book and picked this page. Now this page I did with my Caran d'Ache Super Colour Soft. Sorry, I always get it wrong. I always call them Super Soft, but they're Super Colour Soft on them. And then I went over it with my Caran d'Ache Pablos. So very much a Caran d'Ache page, although it also has gold Posca on it that I did for all that. So I won't talk too much about this page because it is a colour along on my channel. You can go if you're interested and follow it, and I've really enjoyed it. This is the first colour along I've ever done and it was heaps of fun. Now my colour alongs, they aren't silent. I do talk all the way through. So I'll just let you know that, whether that's your cup of tea or not, that's your choice. And I will say what pencils I'm using. I am a person who enjoys that myself when I'm watching colouring videos and colour alongs. I find when they're quiet and they just put the text up of the pencils they use on the screen, then I have to look at the screen all the time. And I quite like looking at my own colouring and then when they say it, then looking up at the screen, if that makes sense. It's like, yes, I want to look at my colouring, not the screen, when I'm colouring. Oh, I'm saying colouring a lot. Anyway, you know what I mean. So yes, that is something about my colour alongs. I do talk through them rather than have them silent with music. But anyway, back to the page. So looking at this, I'm actually wondering, this may be my only page I haven't used white gel pen on. I went for gold instead, and I actually think it looks quite nice. Now I am right now fighting the urge. I'm like, I should put a little bit of white gel pen on the edges of those pages, that page, maybe the tips of the leaves. But saying that, it looks lovely, and I probably should just leave it alone and appreciate it for what it is, because I was so happy with it when it was finished, and the color vibrancy is exactly what I love. Like, and the coverage, the way the Pablos, I'll zoom it in so you can have a bit of a look, or lift up the book. The Pablos give such a nice coverage. Like, I feel like it's so even and blended. I'm just really happy with it. So that was my other Rita Berman picture. If you're interested, I will link that video below. So that is my Rita Berman colouring I did this month. And then let's look at the book that really got me back into colouring. And I got this book beginning of March, end of Feb. Anyway, around there, Mythographic Voyage by Joseph Cadenbang. And I'd never had a Mythographic before, but that was it. I was just hooked. I think I'd seen it on someone's channel and thought, oh, I've never had a Mythographic before. Let's try it and let's see. And I'm so pleased I did. It's just like reignited this love of colouring in me. I have coloured on and off for probably 3 or 4 years. You know how you go through stages, but yeah, I am straight back into it now. And this was the first page I did. So this was done with Neocolor 2s for the background, and that was really fun, picking some warm colors, because I don't usually go for warm color backgrounds. I think all the ones you've seen so far have been cool, but the pencils I used for this were Derwent Lightfast. And if you have a Derwent Lightfast set, they really they have a beautiful palette, but it's a very natural palette. And I guess that's because they're the easiest pigments to make light fast. So this is what I coloured with it, and because it only has vibrant colours in certain shades, that's how I got this colourway, and then, you know, did the Neo Colour 2 background to match. And I have to say, I love it. It may be one of the very few warm colour palettes I have. Though I guess I have that Small Victories one we talked about earlier from the Colour Cube, so I should do more warm colour palettes. I enjoy them so much. But yes, this was just so much fun. I really enjoyed it. So colouring with the Light Fast is amazing. They are just the most pigmented pencils you will come across. They are incredible. I just can't get over it. If anything, you kind of need to hold back slightly with them because the colours are just so dark and vibrant. But I feel like the ones I picked for this just came out so well. Considering this doesn't have a base under it, it's just pencil. Yeah, I mean, I know also Joseph Canberra is an amazing illustrator. I mean, look at the lion and the texture of the fur. I did flick the fur a bit. I'm not sure you can actually tell though, because of his line work, but I feel like it works together really well. And then I just blended different colors for the flowers as normal. Now you can see white, can't you? And you can guess what I used. So I think I used my thickest one, the one, here we go, of the Sakura Jelly Roll, and I really need to buy a new pack now because yeah, it's pretty much it's pretty much done. I mean, with all the pages I've shown you and this one, yeah, I think that it's used an awful lot of white, but how pretty does it look? I not only dotted around the edges, I did lines out, and the lines from the center out of the dandelions, and yeah, it's just so pretty. These pages in this book are perforated, which, what a brilliant idea. And yeah, I have thought about taking it out and actually framing this and maybe putting it in my daughter's room. But yeah, I'll see. She's very much a blues girl though, so I'm not sure it would match. But anyway, I'll talk to her about it. But yes, really, really enjoyed colouring this and excited to get back into colouring. So from there, I went to this one. Now, this one actually is a combination. So this was basted with Albert Durer's, and then I went over with, no, I lie, not Albert Durer's, sorry, the Caran d'Ache Super Colour Soft. It was basted with that, and then I went over it with the Caran d'Ache Pablos. And how that came about is my brother had the Caran d'Ache Pablo set. He enjoys colouring too, but he decided the pencils weren't for him. He's actually gone more into markers, which, you know, that's fine. That's what he prefers. I was the very, very, very lucky person who now has a secondhand set of Pablos. Awesome. So I was so excited to use them. So I basted this with the Super Soft, which, you know, it was nice, but my background wasn't particularly dark or vibrant. And then I went in with the Pablos. So this is an awful lot of pencil on the background. I will lift it up so you can see. It is definitely a pencil background, but I feel like it blended well and it was heaps of fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm not usually a heavy pencil work person, but maybe I'm changing. I'm heading that way. I really enjoyed it. Now, I used Pablo's for colouring everything else, but as well as that, my orange dragon, I felt he needed a bit of a sparkle, a bit of a shine. I don't know if you can see it. It's quite glittery in real life. Especially his tail, but his whole body is shiny. Sorry, I'm just looking in the camera to make sure I've got him, here we go, in. So I don't know if you can see that shine. That actually is these. So these are the Pentel Dual Metallic brushes. Oh my gosh, I love them. If you could, you can buy a silver singly, but it's not this silver, unfortunately. The silver is the most amazing clear glitter you will ever get, and it is so easy to use. They just, you just push button the end, and then they have a brush tip. I absolutely love them. I mean, if you see a silver one of these, definitely buy it and try it. It is just such fun, and I use and use it to death. It is pretty much out, but I just can't let go yet. So it is in there as part of the set. This is the one, the orangey gold, that I use. I don't think they have, numbers. No, but yes, really enjoy using them. That beautiful brush tip. Look at the, so it has an orange base with the gold glitter, and that is what I use for the dragon's bodies. As well as that, I did go over the white clouds with a paint pen. I didn't actually use my Sakura gel pen for once because I wanted to go over all the clouds and the wings to give them that mistier kind of look. So these paint pens that I use, sorry, I'm just looking to see if I have one in front of me. Here we go. They are the Jane Davenport Paint Over Pen. This one's unicorn, so it's a white, and it's interesting actually, it says it's archival. I didn't realize that. It is not the most opaque white you will get. It is more a transparent white, but it's really good for like lightening lines. Unfortunately, originally I got it because I thought it was something I could color over, you know, lighten the lines of it and then color, but you can't color over it. It has to be your last layer, I find. And that is what I did put on top for the wings in certain parts and the clouds. And I'm really happy with how it came out. So this was my second picture in my Mythographic. As you know, I like to do at least 5. So I didn't get there this month, but I hope to colour it in again, April. And this is the third one I did. Oh, and I love this. All except for one thing, but that's okay. I'm coming to terms with it. I'm thinking maybe I'll redo it or add pencil to it. But anyway. Okay, so let's start with what I love first. This is Faber-Castell Albert Durer's base. Everything except that sky, and then I went over it with polychromos, and I am so happy with it. I mean, usually I'd never think of doing red for my my leaves, but I didn't want the whole page to be green, especially the frog. So I kind of thought, well, what can I do that's different? So in the end, I thought, let's go for the red to green blend for the leaves, and then let's do blue frogs, just because I felt like it. And there's some really pretty shades in the Faber-Castell of bluey greens. So I had lots of fun with that. Really enjoyed it. Then we'll get to this background. So this background here, the sky, is alcohol marker. You can see it if I show you the back of the page. Yeah, so it comes through. And I'm thinking maybe I need to do another layer because it really is a bit patchy. Now, I've never used alcohol marker on this paper before. Maybe that's why. I just need practice and to get better at it. And maybe I should have used like 3 colors and blended it. That probably would have looked better. But I was just kind of thinking what I could do for the sky that was different to the water, because I'd done Albert Durer's and polychromos and then put a blue Posca over the line work for the water. I didn't want it to be the same for the sky because that's already a lot of blue. I just wanted something that looked a bit different. But then maybe the streakiness of the marker, I don't know, looks more realistic because sky is not all the same color, is it? I'm thinking about it. Anyway, one of the things I'm most proud about with this page is that it's one of the ones with the circles and the hidden object, and I really tried to cover that. So if I zoom in, I think you can see the circle around it, but I really did the best I could to cover it. And what I did is I outlined it with my jelly roll first, and then lightly coloured over with the Albert Durer's and the polychromos. And for the most part, I think it worked pretty well. I think when you look at this picture, you don't look at that circle the first thing. I think you do gradually see it as you look at it with time, but not at the beginning. So I am pleased with that. Once again, I did also use my jelly roll for the line art in the flowers. I feel like it really softened them and made them look really pretty. So I'm happy with that. And yeah, overall, I love this page. It's another one I easily actually could frame, although yeah, I'm not sure about frogs. I like frogs, I'm just not the biggest fan of them. If you know what I mean. But yeah, no, I'm definitely very happy with this page. I just love the color scheme, and it's one I think I'll use again. I'll definitely be looking at more reddy pink leaves with green tinges. There's just something so satisfying about it. So that is all the pages I did in my Mythographic. I have done the first 2 and the 4th and missed the 3rd. Why, I don't know, but it annoys me. So I think this is one I will aim to colour in this month. So we will see what I decide to colour in. Is everything different? I think every page's been a different pencil so far. So we will see what I go for this one, but it is a very pretty page. So I think it will be happy. Really fun to colour. Okay, so the Hanna Karlzon I coloured in this month was Tales from the Midnight Masquerade. This actually is the first book from her Tales from the series, and it's one I find I do a lot of colouring in. I really enjoy it. I think it has a lot of portraits in it and some lovely scenes, and yeah, I do find I tend to go back to it. So the one that, well, actually it's whips, I guess, but they're whips I'm pleased with, and these are the ones that I have done this month. So I guess you can quickly tell now that a plan is to finish these this month. So they're completed pages, that would be nice. But I really wanted to practice my skin tones and different colour skin tones, so that's what I did. So these, both of them, are done with Faber-Castell Albert Durers as a base, and then I went over them with polychromos. And I think for the most part, I'm happy with them. I think I need to improve my blending a bit with her skin tone, but I really think I'm getting there, and I'm quite happy with where I put my highlights. I did first, before I started colouring, go over the lines with my Jelly Roll Sakura. So it looked more natural, and especially because Hanna Karlzon has like these, I don't know what you call them, patterns, I guess sometimes she puts in the people. As you can see at the end, I've gone back and decided to highlight that, and I actually think I might colour that like a strong pink, like it's painted on her face, and look quite pretty over the top. But to start with, yes, I did go in and use the Jelly Roll pen, and then I did my Albert Durers, I activated them, and then I did my polychromos. And yeah, I'm really happy with my queens. I think the Queen of Hearts and the Queen of Spades, they're gonna look just lovely. Oh, the eyes are just so pretty. I really had a lot of fun doing these, and it makes me want to do more people, because there's just something about portraits I find. Like, it's funny because they look quite flat and quite intimidating when on the page, but when you colour them, it's like they jump to life. The person there comes alive. And yeah, as you can tell, I am pleased with them, and I'm excited to colour the rest of them. I feel like I've done the not hard, but maybe more trickier part, because I feel you have to try and get a good blend with skin tones. And although using the Albert Durers as a base is very helpful and really quickens your time, you still got to do quite a few layers with your polychromos for them. So these were the whips I worked in then. As you can see, nothing has gone through the back of either page. So that's one of the wonderful things about using watercolor pencils and then putting pencil on top. Now I did in the end go in and actually cover her dots, even though I'd colored her. Her dots were like this, and as you can see, they don't look very nice, do they? So I actually went in with a gold Posca, this one. It is a PC-1MR pin type 0.7mm, and I coloured in her dots, and I think I will go in for her eyelashes and do the same. And I will try and then work some more gold into her jewellery and her crown when I colour her as well, and her necklace. But I did feel I had to do that, I guess a bit like the hearts, just because I know Hanna Karlzon does them to like fill out the line work and give the character to the person and make them more interesting. But then I also want the person to look not completely realistic, but I guess, I don't know, slightly realistic. Is that right? So yes, one thing I'm really pleased about with these portraits is all the highlights are basically from leaving the pencil blank. The page blank, I should say, from pencil. They aren't paint pen or artificial, so I am really pleased about that, because I think that's one thing you really have to think about, and maybe that's what's really good about using polychromos, Albert Durers and polychromos, because you're doing quite a few layers. You have to think about where you want your highlights to be from the beginning so you don't colour over them. So yes, that is definitely something I'm very pleased with. I think they've come out well, and yeah, I'll be excited to work more on them and show you what they look like, because I have to admit I have no idea what I'm doing for the background. Well, I'll have to think about that, won't I? I'll probably colour their hair, jewellery and clothes first, and then the background will be last, for better or for worse. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this whip progresses. So that is my Hanna Karlzon. I know I call it a singular whip, but I feel like it's a very shared double page spread, isn't it? So that is that one. Okay, so the last designer I have to talk about today is Maria Trolle, and I coloured in 2 of her books this month. One is a completed page, one is a whip, but they are both related. So what happened was I coloured in Luna first, and I was doing my Inktense backgrounds and experimenting with them and having fun, and this is the page that I completed. And I am so happy with it, and I just love it. And the real story of what happened is, after I had completed it, I showed my mum, who's also very into colouring, and she said, well, did you film it? And I went, oh no, I just did it for my enjoyment. And she's like, well, you have to film it so I can colour it. So I'd also been asked from a video before on my channel about Inktense backgrounds and how I do them. So I thought, well, I can do both, can't I? So that then led to me colouring in Botanicum, and this is a whip. And I have a video how to colour Inktense backgrounds where I talk you through and do, because it's a real-time colour along, this. And as you can see, the skies are very, very similar. They are based on each other. I did use the same colours, and I also use the same, so it's Inktense pencil, the background completely, and then it is Winsor & Newton white ink. And I thought it was so interesting. That's when I did it by myself. That's when I did it on camera. And I think I went a little bit overboard with the splatter. But anyway, it truly does look very galaxy, and I am planning this month to also do videos of the ground and the beautiful peacock picture itself, and I will be using Inktense pencils and then ChromaFlow, just like I did for this one. So let's get to the rest of it. So this golden moon and night sky, completely Inktense pencil, and then with, as I said, with the white ink on top of it and a little bit of white paint pen for the stars. Then we get down to the ground. This was Inktense pencil again. I then did go over and blended it with ChromaFlow. The picture was actually just like the one in Botanicum, in that the fox and the foliage and the moth up here was all that was on the page. This was all blank. I actually drew in the landline and I drew in the uneven ground lines just because I like to give it more interest. Now, I did have a little bit of an accident when I was colouring it. I did the ground and was happy with it, and then I went into the center and I had basted it with Inktense. I coloured it in with my ChromaFlows, had even done my trusty Sakura gel pen, because I don't mask when I do my Inktense, well, any backgrounds actually. So I did find that some of the petals I'd gone over, I did have to kind of draw in with the white, but because the moon is shining on them, I still think they look really good, and I am really happy with it. Anyway, when I was doing the fur on the fox, now usually I try and kind of flick fur and make it look more realistic, but as you can see, Maria Trolle has done quite a definite pattern with the fur, and it is really nice. Like, she clearly took her time with it, and I didn't want to cover that up, and the black lines on it were quite solid, so I don't know I even could have covered it up completely if I wanted to. So in the end, I did go and echo the pattern with an orange paint pen, which I think worked really well. I really like how it looks. And I also did the tops of the head and the ears and the back with a yellow paint pen as well, and then went to a white. And I think with the way the moon's shining on it, that looks really good. My problem then came when I accidentally dropped my orange paint pen and it went on my ground. So then I had orange to clean up. So what I did do is I had a greeny, kind of an olivey green paint pen, and I did go in and kind of dot it, and then just use a water brush to spread it round and make it look more organic, and that is over my ground. And actually I don't mind how it looks. I think it kind of looks a bit like a mossy texture. It's quite nice. And that was to cover the orange, and I think it did pretty well. Maybe a 98% job. I mean, maybe if I lift it up you could see a tiny bit of orange there, but I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. So yes, that's that's how that came about. But other than that mistake, it went pretty smoothly and I really enjoyed colouring it. So that is how I plan to colour this one. And if you're interested, I will have a colour along, or be doing a colour along this this month. And I will, once again, I have done this so it's like a hill, because I didn't want my land line to be too high. If you put something at the halfway mark, it looks a bit strange. Your eye really likes when it's off center. So yes, I thought, well, let's do a hill, and yes, maybe I'll put other kind of lines for the uneven ground, like it's kind of rolling hills in there. And yes, we'll color that together, and I'm really excited to find out how it looks together. I will be using the Inktense and then the Chroma Flow pencils on top, just like here. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So I have had some plans in there, haven't I? So I'm not going to do a plans video. As you see, I do have some kind of loose intentions and some whips to finish, but as a whole this month, I am really pleased with my colouring. It has been fun and exciting. I think this would be my very favourite page that I completed. I just love it, and it's quite funny. I'm in Australia, so foxes are not popular over here like they seem to be in other parts of the world. They're really regarded as pests. So one of the reasons I kind of wanted to colour this page was, even though I really did like the foliage, and I don't mind foxes, I just don't love them, is that I didn't feel precious about it, not like the peacock we will be colouring in Botanicum this month. So I think it's quite funny the way I'm just so pleased with how it turned out, and I really enjoyed colouring it. I think lower stakes pages, there's just something about them, isn't there? You just don't put that pressure on yourself, and then it just makes the whole experience more enjoyable. However, saying that, I am always ecstatic when I have a higher stakes page coloured too. So I know it will be worth it, and it will be fun. But yes, I just thought that was a surprise. So yes, this is definitely, I think it would be my favourite of the month. I am very pleased with the one I did in my Europa as well. So yes, another colour along on the channel. However, the holiday colouring I did, yeah, it would be between them. And actually they're both night scenes. Isn't that funny? But yes, they would be top two for the month, and then the Europa one, I think. But yeah, so that is my colouring for this month. Thank you so much for watching my video on my March whips and completed pages. You have to let me know what you have been colouring or any plans you have. I would love to know. Thank you again for watching my video. I really do appreciate it. I have quite a new channel, so if you would like to subscribe, that would just be lovely. Thank you so much. I also love it when you like the video and leave me a comment, because that's the wonderful thing about the colouring, isn't it? This community, and I have learnt so much from it, and it's just so nice to give back as well. Okay, well, have a fantastic night. Yeah, it's quite dark here, but that is okay. I will edit this video and get it up, and then tomorrow will be April, and I feel like I will have a lovely new clean slate, a new month for my colouring. So have a fantastic night, and I will see you soon. Happy colouring. Bye.